Not. I'm gonna pray for you. I want you and that young man to tie that knot. I'm gonna pray for you. And I want you to hold on to God's unchanging hand, because he helped Joshua fight the battle of Jericho. Yes.
It's the old
He helped Daniel get out the lion's den. He helped here we go. Get off the island.
Let me get straight to the business. Yeah. Got them lions in the building. Yeah. Why you lying to the children? Yeah. Why you lying to the children? Yeah. RIGHTEOUS. Man, you know I've been the best. Man, they know contest. Yahuwah, he do the bless. We will not see you tomorrow. Cause you cannot go to thought. All the sons and all the daughters. Standing hard with big manotas. But my son, he made me Taurus. On that line, I'm still a Taurus. Karate kicking Chuck Norris, 4-5 on my waist. If he started, would not hesitate to get retarded. Oh Lord, he ain't got a PowerPoint, he forest. He thrown into the hills like a Philistine. Jihad hitting Hamites with the guillotine. Situation turned up with the ratchet team. JJ 7000 to debate me. I know them haters gon' hate me, but he won't debate me. Pistol off safety. Respond, come wake me. If I don't get up, nigga shake me. If he don't show up, then he fake G. I touch down and make these nigga nuts hate me. Dear brother, ballin' and crawling all the way from H-Time. Let me get straight to the business. Man, them lions in the building. Why you lying to them children? Why you lying to them children? You gon' cry, you gon' get it. Me, I'm like a frog, nigga, ribbit. Of course, it's in the spirit. I just got the Porsche, she can steer it. Mito got the raw, Shaq and Willie. Lamborghini doors, you better not spill it. Mama's high, say I'm more than just a villain. Mama's cry, I'm dope and wide for her children. Suicide, immortalized as a village, yeah. Death by cut, black suicide. Let me get straight to the business. Got them lions in the building. Why you lying to them children? Yeah. Why you lying to them children? RIGHTEOUS. Man, you know I've been there. Man, they know contest. Yahuwah, he do the Wow, what's that? Why ain't they taking over? Number one debate league, you heard me? When it's up, it's stuck. I'm selling on everything, nigga. Metaphorically, of course.
Well, all right, once again, putting it down for you and yours. This is another presentation of the Lion's Den. Talking about what's on your mind as this conversation continues. I am your brother, your friend, and chief high servant, Brother Malachi, aka Baby Hebrew. Scheduled to join us later on in the broadcast will, of course, be the man who leaves you in shock and awe, talking raw, JTR, Yeshaya Dar. Okay? We give an honor to the Lord in Christ, from whom all positive thoughts flow. And of course, I'm going to always give thanks to the CEO of Operations JJ 7000, along with the Lioness, the keeper of the house, and making sure that everything runs orderly, Sister Karima, for allowing us to come into the Lion's Den and give our statesmanship on all issues, social, political, economic, and what have you. Again, and I want to thank you out there in Lion's Den land as you tune in for allowing us to come into your homes. I won't keep you long on this presentation. You know, I know it's a work week. You know, and everything else. So I just want to more or less put some things in your ear. But before we get that going, always know that when you come into the lion's den, one house rule you must follow is wipe your feet, mind your manners, proceed with caution. Also, if you're stupid, and I don't mean to be brutal about it, but unfortunately, when you go live, one of the pitfalls is there are a lot of people out here who are intellectually challenged and want to come in and want to cause folly, disrespect, get reckless with their mouths. Well, listen, do yourself a favor. If you know you're stupid, please keep your stupidity to yourself, because let me assure you, if you don't, you're going to get your feelings hurt. Now, the lion's den is all about what? Rolling in the 7 eyes. Since 7 is a number of completion, we give you here in the lion's den the 7 eyes now. That's intelligence. That speaks for itself. Integrity, honor, inspiration, influence, independence, insight, and information. They can always be put in any kind of order interchangeably. But these are the 7 eyes you're gonna be given here while you're in the lion's den. Also, when you roll in the lion's den, you're rolling with pride, because we come with what? The ability, blessed by God, to be permanently ready in destroying evil, starting with our own. And also know this: the lion's den is a strong anti-coon movement. And what is a coon? According to the lion's den, spelled COON, well, that's a complete, obvious, obedient, yes, a boss, nigga. Well, the lion's den is anti-coon. We roll in the spirit, of course, Proverbs 3 verse 5. To trust in the Lord with all your heart and don't lean on your own understanding. St. John 8:32, which says what? And know you the truth, and the truth shall make you free. We roll in the spirit of Romans 9:1. We say the truth in Christ, we lie not. Our consciences bears us witness. And so, know for a certainty that when you come here in the lion's den, you're among good people. When you come into the lion's den, again, we're about what? Intellectual and spiritual stimulation. But let me put it in order. We're about spiritual, intellectual, and emotional stimulation, growth, and we're going to help you get there. Now, of course, you have a lot of naysayers out there. We welcome you to come on in, sit, vibe, click, and politic with us. To all my atheists, Muslim, to all my Baptist, Methodist, Episcopalian, whatever denomination you go by. Hold for a second, you all. Whatever denomination you may go by, we welcome you still. We are able to talk to anybody at any time on any level. And the main level we talk to you on here is the truth. So now that we have all these formalities out the way, and now that you understand how the lion den operates, all right, y'all, let's get it in. Let's talk about what's on our minds. as this conversation continues. First up, you know, there was a musician many years ago who his name is, I won't say, well, I don't know if he's dead or alive. I should have looked that up. But Richard Dimples Fields, he made a very interesting song based on an old cliche, if it ain't one thing, it's another. As you can see, your boy can't sing, but that's cool. You know the song if you go back that far. And boy, is he right. Because, it just seems to me that we as a people, black folk that is, we can't catch a damn break nowhere in the earth. Now, where am I going with this? If you haven't heard, here's where you're going to hear it. Can you believe now that according to one of Vladimir Putin, the prime minister of Russia, or president of Russia, he's a governor out of the Kurgan region of Russia. His name is Vadim Shumkov. Now, Karima, I had sent a few things to you, and I want you to see if you can find that particular picture in your archive of Vadim Shumkov. Because according to Vadim Shumkov, y'all ready for this? All the problems that are going on in Russia is because, according to Vadim Shumkov, and if Karima can find this picture of this doofus, according to Mr. Shumkov, the reason that the rash of suicide among young Russian children, the wars and all the inner turmoil, Ukraine, you name it, is because Russian children have been embracing black culture of the descendants of African American slaves. That's right, you heard me right. According to a governor, Vadim Shumkov, everything that you see going on in Russia right now is because of black people. Now, comedian, there he is, this doofus. Take a real good look at this doofus. Now, normally I try to be emotionally detached in our presentations, but tonight's episode is titled aptly, The Sound and the Fury. I'm the sound, and when JT comes on, he's the fury. But right now, so I'm sounding off. Take a look at this idiot. It's bad enough, my brothers and sisters, that we get blamed for everything that's wrong in America. But veteran comedian and king of comedy, D.L. Hughley, made a powerful observation about 4 or 5 years ago when he stated that the most dangerous place a black man or woman and child can live is in the imaginations of white people. And I am not going to sit up here and him or her. We have a very serious problem. There are a segment of white America and now Russian and probably other nations who are blaming us for their problems. So according to Vadim Shumkov, all the alcoholism, all the young Russians who are killing themselves, it's not because of Russia's brutal regime. It is not because that, the karma in the history that Russia has of also being a very vicious and brutal nation. No, According to this dummy, everything going on in Russia is because their children are adapting, embracing, and becoming Black culture. In other words, the BET, well, the underbelly of our people, what we call the BET mentality, the booty entertainment television mentality. All the gangster rap, all of the other things that are, pushed forth in the media. Well, according to Vadim Shumkov, their children embracing Black culture. First of all, he doesn't understand what our culture is. Degeneracy is not our culture. Let's get that straight. Yes, there are certain extremes of entertainment that is being pushed here in America, proliferated here in America. But that's not Black culture. But the fact he said that they're embracing Black culture from the descendants of African American slaves, that part as well. This goes to show you that no matter where we go on the earth, we are not going to escape racism, bigoted, evil, dangerous, white power racism. Maybe in other nations it may not be as vicious, prevalent, and as in your face as America. Because let's not forget that America was founded by the poor white trash and underclass that were kicked out of England and other surrounding areas. Okay, let's not forget that part, and because I'm certainly not going to forget it. So moving on, but still, in Russia and other areas, we get no love. All right? And this here is utterly ridiculous. But the Bible, Zephaniah 2 verse 1 says, the solution to what we got to do now, it go without saying. We have to gather ourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation, not desired. It is clear. I know some of you out there may not embrace that we are the real Jews the Bible speaks of. You may not embrace that we're the children of Israel, but you have to accept and understand that no matter where we go in the earth, we are hated and being and blamed for everything that goes wrong in the world. This is incredible to me. We have no embassies in Russia. We have no financial ties or governance in Russia. We don't control the body of politics in Russia no more than we do here in America. But yet, here it is. We're being now blamed by this idiot, Vadim Shumkov, and there are millions of others, Russians, who feel the same way he does. We are the reason why their children are having problems. Unfreaking believable. And this just goes to show you the levels of devils and the mind state and how in danger we as a people are. We really need to start taking under careful consideration that our unification and our unifying is now more required than a little bit. Because with this kind of bigoted hate and this kind of dangerous mindset, you better believe that there are other people who feel the same way. But the God tells us what we got to do. We got to gather ourselves together. Because we are a nation not desired. Whether you want to believe it or not, these other nations know that we are the children of Israel. They know that our time, by the good Lord decree, is in full effect. They know their power structure, as they have known it, is now crumbling. And just like the Bible said it would be in these last days, the devil will go forth like a roaring lion, seeking those he can devour and kill. And we're in that time. So I just want you to think about this for a second. This creep that you saw just a minute ago, Vadim Shumkov, is blaming us for what's going on in Russia. Now, speaking of Russia, right? You know, we had this issue with Brittany Griner, WNBA player who had got caught with some illegal weed, supposedly. I think it was that not hookah. What's it called? I forget what it's called. But anyway, she had some liquid weed or whatever while she was in Russia, being paid to shut up and dribble. But Brittany Griner found herself in hot water. Why? Because Brittany Griner forgot where she was. And again, the racism in Russia is just as strong as it is here in America, just not as in your face, except when you start running up at the mouth. Brittany Griner was being paid excellent by Vladimir Putin and company to come there, represent, entertain. She was doing her thing. But Miss Griner forgot where she was and decided she wanted to go voicing her disapproval of Russia attacking the Ukraine. And all of a sudden, what they was tolerating and looking the other way on, she got busted on. I think she was in the midst of doing an 8-year sentence. And then all of a sudden, a mighty trade took place. And I wasn't paying attention. I can admit, I wasn't paying attention when it first was announced that she was being traded. And, she was going to, the trade had come through. And, happy, joy. She was now going to be coming home to America, the land of the free and the home of the brave. She successfully was traded. And like I said, I wasn't paying attention until, I just decided, let me take a real good look at what they're talking about. And I want you to think about this, y'all. Can somebody please explain to me how and why Brittany Griner, who had no business being in jail in the first place, but because she, put her foot in her mouth and was talking about Russian politics, she forgot she was there to just shut up and dribble. And that in Russia, unlike America, they just clamp down on you immediately when you get out of pocket. But please make me understand how, in God's name, Victor Bout was who Joe Biden and company decided to use as the bargaining chip to get a women's basketball player. And I'm not saying her importance is, non-existent. I'm not saying she's not important. But hold on for a second. Hold on, y'all. But please explain to me how, in God's name, of all damn people that Joe Biden and company decides to use as a bargaining chip, they take the biggest goddamned arms dealer in Russian history. The biggest arms dealer throughout the damn world. Victor Bout. If y'all don't know who this dude is, man, you need to look him up. Victor Bout, who, through three of his front companies, back in the mid-90s into the early 2Gs, y'all. Go back, Victor Bout. Remember, matter of fact, the movie Nicolas Cage, 2005, The Lord of War. That's who that movie was based on. This dude is a Russian arms dealer and former Soviet military translator and freaking agent of the KGB. This dude smuggled arms and was what? Throughout Eastern Europe, Africa, Bolivia, Peru, and other nations from Eastern Europe on, was selling weapons to any top bidder. Matter of fact, hey yo, do y'all recall? I think it was under the administration of not Joe Biden, but George W. Bush and Dick Cheney. Remember how you were hearing about a rash of Ethiopian and African nations that was out here hijacking ships, pirates? That was Victor Bout's work. So you mean to tell me that the biggest freaking arms dealer in the world, whose code name is the Merchant of Death, is who Joe Biden and company decided to use as a bargaining chip for Brittany Griner? Are you serious? All right, y'all. Now, I'm not one for conspiracy theories. I'm about conspiracy reality. I don't do theory, I do reality. And this is why it's always good, as the Bible tells you, Deuteronomy 32:8, to remember the days of old. Don't forget the past. You might be saying, well, Malachi, baby Hebrew, what does this got to do with anything? Hey, yo, y'all not thinking as you're listening. Please understand that the United States of America had in prison for 14 years this dude who they caught on U.S. soil, all right, putting into effect a major deal, okay? But I wonder why Joe, and it just was puzzling me, why did creepy Joe Biden do this deal? We talking about an NBA player, a WNBA player, a black woman being traded for the biggest, I'm gonna try to let that sink in, the biggest arms dealer the world over. He's Russian. His full name is Victor Anatolievich Bout. you all. See, this is why you tune into the Lions Den, because see, there are those of us, you know, we got the, we talk about any and everything, and I'm on my grind now. Karima, I'm not gonna be too greedy, but I sent a short clip. It involves Donald Trump and Joe Biden. See, and it's good to have other people who are on their grind as well. But I remember this debate, and this is why Donald Trump was cheated out of his second term as president. You know, granted, Trump ain't nothing but the wolf, the werewolf. Creepy Joe and company, they're nothing but vampires. But I'd rather the werewolf, because I know where they stand. I know what their intent is going to be. If Karima finds this clip, I want y'all to listen closely to what Donald Trump says, okay? And I want you to watch Creepy Joe's reaction. Because see, this dude, along with Barack Obama and all the rest, have been getting down and dirty for a long time behind the scenes. You know, money laundering and all kinds of other schemes, scams, cons, and monkey hustles. So when she gets it, I want y'all to take a real good listen to. Because, yo, this dude is dirty, man. Oh, well, we all know Joe Biden from way back in the 90s. Well, even this, well, I remember him as a kid in the 70s. I remember all these, I grew up watching these apes. I'm gonna call them apes. I grew up watching these racist, bigoted, wheeling, dealing, dirty, scheming, scamming con artists and hustlers. And this Joe Biden, he has money in Russia. He's done business with Russia. And I want to prove it, because I want you to because see, a video is worth more. They say a video is worth 10 million words. I want you to watch Joe Biden's reaction. I remember this debate too, and I connected the dots. But yo, the merchant of death is now free. A dude that had not only guns and other kinds of armament in his collection, and he used his businesses to front. And like I said, he was caught, you know, in the midst of a major deal. And this is who they let go. This is who is now free, y'all, on a trade for a WNBA basketball player. I believe Kareem has found the video. Now take a real good listen. All right? And I want you to listen carefully.
I don't make money from Ukraine. You do. I don't make money from Russia.
He tried to tell us.
You made $3.5 million, Joe, and your son gave you. They even have a statement that we have to give 10% money from China. You do. I don't make money from Ukraine. You do. I don't make money from Russia.
Okay.
Money from China. You do.
Okay, one more time,
I don't make money from Ukraine.
Right.
You do. I don't make money from Russia.
He tried to tell
You made
us.
$3.5 million, Joe, and your son gave you. They even have a statement that we have to give 10% to the big man. You're the big man, I think. Money from China. You do. I don't make money.
Let it run one more time. One more time, Karima. One more time for effect. Okay, never mind. We let it run for three times. Did you hear that? Did you see his reaction? Did you see? Oh shit! What the Don? See, the werewolf calling the vampire out. You see why Donald Trump was hated? And I would have preferred him back in the presidency than this creep. He has Joe Biden got money in Ukraine, Russia. Connect the dots. He just took the biggest goddamned arms dealer the world over and set him free. He has money in China, again, Russia, and the Ukraine. This was just 3.5 to 4 years ago when Donald Trump put him on blast for that. And again, a reaction is worth, a gazillion words. And like I said, I was wondering, wait a minute, Victor Bout? What is this about? What is this about? Pun intended. Do you see the game of power politics? Do you see why it is important that we as a people now, Black, so-called Negro, whatever, get our act together now more than ever? They let this man go. And believe me, he hasn't lost any of his money. He's still good with Vladimir Putin. But now we know he's good with the president. And if he was good with Joe Biden, he's good with George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, and all these other motley crew of gangsters. Call it what it is. See, I'm not gonna pull a punch. These dudes are gangsters, man. And you better believe in letting this man go, something major is about to pop off. And again, but it's scary that with all this going on, you have, again, Russian governor of Kurgan, Vadim Shumkov, blaming everything that's going on in Russia is because of Black folk. Unbelievable, y'all. And see, this is why we dedicate ourselves here in the Lions Den to being on our grind, to, always be on top of everything. See, as you can see, we are diverse here. You got the CEO of Operation JJ7000, along with Elder Zaquan and other voices out there who are powerful in all areas and arenas, debate and otherwise. You have myself, Baby Hebrew, along with JTR. We are on our political, social, and international grind. We bring the Bible to you live and direct in reality by pulling all the issues that are prophetic and that are happening right before your eyes. Each one of us has a talent. Each one of us has an ability. We have the lioness, Karima, who's also talented in all things, from an academic standpoint. We are where it's at. And as you can see, I will also go out and seek other voices, some who are better than my own. I don't do ego. But still, we do this because we want you out there in Lions Den land to know that we have your back. That where you're always working and distracted as warriors, we take time out to sacrifice energy to do our research, our due diligence, put everything together, and come in here and talk to you about it. So we got a problem, y'all. Something major is about to happen. Brace yourself. This trade is no good at all. Here it is, you got, and now I'm not for or against anyone, but it's looking kind of crazy. And here it is. You have Russian political prisoner, Marine, Peter Whelan. You have a whole host of others. You know, with this trade, they should have got, America should have got 10 for 1. No, but one basketball player, and you had the merchant of death just walk away scot-free. And you better believe Putin and company are having a major league celebration as he now returns to them. And to get a good idea on how powerful this kid was and how he operates, I'm going to recommend you check out The Lord of War. Stars Nicolas Cage. That's who that movie is based upon. Now, let's continue on. And oh yeah, be advised, if you wish to come in on the panel and want to talk and share your insight, hindsight, or whatever foresight, or whatever site you want to come in on, by all means, we invite you in. Now, let's go and recap Deion Sanders. Man, oh man, oh man, yo. People are mad at Deion Sanders. Oh, we hearing Dr. Umar Johnson. You know, the brother who I say he must have come from the descendancy of Foghorn Leghorn, because he's already repeating everything 3 or 4 damn times. Like all you gotta do is say it one time, bro. One time, bro. All you gotta do is say it one time, bro. You see how annoying that is? You see how annoying that? Let me stop. But anyway, this dude is blowing a gasket, mad at Deion Sanders along with other people out here in social media and the world over, calling him a sellout. He's a coon. He's an Uncle Tom. Hey, yo, stop. See, first of all, Dr. Johnson, I'll give you that respect. This is why it's important. And someone like yourself, I'm disappointed in you. If you should hear this broadcast of the Lions Den, I'm disappointed in you because normally you always do your homework before you go voicing an opinion. On this one here, you completely fumbled, pun intended. You dropped the ball, you fumbled, and you way out of pocket. And other voices out there, but since you on the Breakfast Club, Dr. Johnson, lambasting Deion Sanders, I'm lost as to why you have all this energy towards the man and anyone else who may feel Deion is a sellout. Are you serious? I want to remind, because see, I got to remind you all that we're talking about Mississippi. Mississippi, where we have in Jackson, Mississippi, Memphis, Mississippi, and all other surrounding areas, a number of Black women that are being snatched off the streets and being found dead. we have Brett Favre. Remember him? Brett Favre, who somehow was able to steal $77 million plus, okay, in the biggest welfare scam in not only Mississippi history, but the United States. The biggest welfare scheme, scam, con, and monkey hustle in U.S. history in Mississippi. He was able, and let's put this in perspective, that Brett Favre did all this with sitting governor Tate Reeves. You got, who else? Tate Reeves, along with 3rd District, Superintendent, your boy, Stephen Palazzo. Then you have in the 1st District, Trent Kelly, and in the 2nd District, Ben Thompson. The governor, Tate Reeves, but we look at 3rd District, you got Michael Guest. The 4th District, Stephen Palazzo, who is a sitting U.S. congressman in the White House. Now, I have been attributing that to Mitch McConnell, and I was out of pocket. I was wrong. Mitch McConnell governs the state of Kentucky. I dropped the ball on that one. My bad, y'all. But now I just gave you the names of those who are sitting in office in Mississippi. And you have, again, in Jackson, Mississippi, Memphis, and other surrounding areas, a number of Black men that are being snatched, missing, and some have been found dead. You have again, Brett Favre, a $77 million theft of welfare benefits, the biggest scheme, scam, con, and monkey hustle in U.S. history. Then Jackson, Mississippi is one of the major cities where the water supply and filtration system is all beat up. But somehow, Deion Sanders deciding to leave Jackson State University is the biggest dilemma, according to Dr. Umar Johnson and others. Are you serious? And now, in my last presentation, all right, in the last presentation that we in the Lions Den gave you, I had given you the ins and outs and outs and ends on what was happening behind the scenes. And now it's fully out. And I'm going to say a lot of people going to have egg on their face because now I told you last presentation. Excuse me, y'all. I was supposed to mute that. Jackson State University is not innocent in this. As a matter of fact, now it's coming out that the president of Jackson State University, Thomas K. Hudson, along with other administrative staff, were blocking at every turn all the progress that Deion Sanders was bringing to the university. Now it's coming out. Though Deion had already been saying it, yo, I think people here are stealing the money. Well, here it is, right? We now find out that in Deion Sanders' contract, it was stated if he was in participation selling over 30,000 tickets for every game, he would get a percentage. Well, he doubled and tripled that. 60,000 or more people were showing up. Deion Sanders wasn't getting his percentage of the money from ticket sales, as promised. Then come to find out that when Deion Sanders secured a prospective television deal, this was now going to be televised games, more exposure to Jackson State University and its players. Deion Sanders had all this in the works. And the president of Jackson University, Thomas K. Hudson, said no, blocked it. Then, come to find out, well, they had bumped up Deion Sanders' salary. They was offering him $1 million. $1 million. But they were requiring Deion Sanders to take money out of his new salary they were offering him, and he would have to pay his staff, those they hired to work at Jackson State. He would have to pay him out of his money. Bro, it's clear this president, Thomas K. Hudson, and Jackson and the other admin staff of Jackson University are the Debos of the institution. Because now here it is, when all the monies was coming in for the football program that the players, Deion Sanders and company, had earned, Thomas K. Hudson and company was intercepting that money, pun intended, intercepting the money, and then allocating the money to other programs and robbing the football program, and those Deion Sanders and company blind. So everything that Primetime was putting into effect, they were sabotaging it. And I'm gonna say it with deliberate because I believe that maybe they looked at Deion, Thomas K. Hudson in particular, may have looked at Deion as a threat to his job. I mean, we already know that Primetime was taking half of his salary and taking care of the football team, facilities. We would see this man out here cutting the grass. He out there cutting the grass. All right? This is how dedicated Primetime was to Jackson State for 3 whole years. But you know what they say about users? They don't think about the things you've done for them. They only get mad at you when you stop doing the things they were using you for. And this is what this is now. And yet you got people talking about he was a sellout. But wait a minute. In order for all this misappropriation of money to go down, you don't think that the governor of Mississippi, Tate Reeves, along with 3rd District Representative Michael Guest, along with Stephen Palazzo, Trent Kelly, and Ben Thompson, and all other high-up administrators don't have their tentacles in that and robbing the HBCU? Connect the dots, y'all. If Brett Favre stole $77 million in welfare funds, you think Brett did that by himself? You think that what is going on in Jackson State University by way of the president, Thomas K. Hudson, is all of his own doing. So now, here comes Colorado State, and they offered Deion $5 million, and he can bring along some of his players. And they're offering other amenities. The same thing he bought to Jackson State. They want him to bring, of course, to them. They gonna take it. Because they see the business in it. So what's really going on in Mississippi, y'all? So to Umar Johnson, anyone calling Deion Sanders a sellout, you way out of line. You're way out of pocket. And with all these facts that are not on the table, let me ask any of you out there listening, would you stay someplace and work for free? Huh? Would you? It's a rhetorical question because we already know the answer is no. But this is what's going on, y'all. Now, as we continue on, matter of fact, let me take a time out and let's see who's talking real quick. Let's see who's in the den before I go on. I want to welcome you all. We got, hello, Hazel. How are you? Brother Tyrone, what's going on? Dominique Liddell, what's good? What's good? What's good? Well, you're good. We got, who else we got? Tashaka. What's going on, brother? How you doing? All right. I know there are others out there. Hey, Water Blue. What's going on? Shalom.
Yeah,
Shalom,
JJ
shalom. Now, it sounds like somebody's on the pen. Hey, Karima, what's on your mind?
JJ trying to go live.
Oh, you want to go live? Okay, well, you know what? This is what I'll do then. If that's the case, that takes precedence, and I can come back another time. So how about this, ladies and gentlemen? He can come in. He want to come in live on this one, or he want to do a complete different link? He welcome to take over here.
Yeah, he probably trying to get fired up.
All right, then. Okay, here what I'm gonna do. So because we have the CEO wants to go live real quick, that takes precedent over anything. What we'll continue this conversation at another day and time. This has been another episode of the Lion's Den. I thank you for tuning in. We're gonna continue this. Don't forget these topics. We're gonna come back. So in the spirit of darkness, in the Hebrew tip, and I give an honor to the Lord and Christ from whom all positive thoughts flow. And I say to you all, shalom, peace, ahab, love, and the posh soul. And we are out of here.